I haven't worked a traditional job since 2011. I am a full-time day trader, swing trader, and options trader. I work about 1 hour per week, and I'm going to show you my steps on what I do. It's Sunday night. I'm filming this. Well, you can't see the clock, but it's right up here. It says 10:02 p.m. on a Sunday. And I'm about to go and start my first half of my weekly work. I've been doing this a lot in videos, and it's kind of annoying to me, so I'm going to stop. But I do about my first half hour of my work is Sunday night, and obviously the second half hour is Monday morning when I start to make my trades, and then periodically I'll make some more trades throughout the week if I want to, sometimes, not all the time. Now, I've got a list, and I know a lot of you are going to say, bro, share the list. And my answer is no, I'm not going to share my list. Now, the people are going to say, oh, bro's gatekeeping, you're gatekeeping, you don't want to share the list. The reason I don't share my list is because it is mine, and it is tailored to me and my risk tolerance, which might be very different from your risk tolerance. So it is inappropriate for me, as a content creator who wants to teach people how to be self-sufficient, to say, here's what I'm trading, because then maybe not you, but someone else is going to run out and make the same trades, and they're going to slide up in my DMs a week later. They're going to go, I copied you, it backfired, I lost all my money, what do I do? That's not what this channel is about. All right, let's get to work. Now, when it comes to buying stocks with the express purpose of selling covered calls, I prefer to look for charts like this. Companies that have been in a downtrend are the kinds of stocks that I like to then buy when they're way down, right? $43, it was $65. So I like to buy the dip there. I'm doing it again, but I like to buy the stock when it is down and sell a covered call because it has a higher likelihood of going up. My shares will get assigned, which is my goal, but also potentially a smaller premium. On the other hand, buying a stock that has been kind of sideways and then has skyrocketed is maybe not the kind of position that I want to start buying when it's at the highs, because yes, the premiums might be a little bit higher, but it has the opposite problem where it could start to pull back as people take profits if the stock, say, potentially is, like you can see here, maybe a little bit overbought, indicating a potential pullback. I look for stocks that have been in a downtrend. Even if the premium might be a little bit smaller, it's more likely that the stock could recover, go up a little bit. I get the premium, maybe I get a little small profit on the stock trade as well. You know, if I'm buying the stock, say, at 25 and selling a strike price at 26, and yes, maybe it goes to 28, I'm still making that dollar because I bought it at 25, it sold at 26. Yeah, you might say, oh, dude, you should have just traded it, you would have made more money. Remember, my goal is not to make all the money, just some of it. And then after I go through my whole list, which is pretty extensive, there are about 15 to 20 stocks on that list that I'm in and out of periodically over the course of several weeks. After I go through my whole list, I'm taking notes. What are all the stocks that have been in a downtrend that could potentially rebound and go back up? Once I have that list, when I wake up on Monday morning, I start looking at the stocks and I make a decision based on the premiums when the markets open at 9:30. I spend about that first 10 to 15 minutes going over all the positions, looking at all the premiums. I do a little bit of math. So what I do is I aim for premiums that are a little bit on the riskier side. These are what you would call, God, I was about to do it again, high beta stocks, which means that they're a little bit more volatile than the overall markets, but that suits me and my risk tolerance, which means that periodically I will have positions that pay me, 3, 5, 6, 7% in options premiums. Yes, there's a risk that they could work against me. Sometimes that happens. That's one of the risks of options trading. But I will then calculate in the morning when I look at the premium. I go, okay, how much could I make per contract? Are there others? Are they too risky? If they're riskier, maybe they have earnings out that week. Maybe I sit out. Maybe I opt for some smaller gains, like a 2%, a 3% versus, say, a 7% that carries too much risk. And that's basically it. So I spend about a half hour going through my list on Sunday night. And then Monday morning at around 9:30 when the markets open, I start going through everything, looking at all the premiums for every single stock. Because, Sunday night, they're not going to be accurate. They just give me an idea. I can look at the charts. Monday morning is when I look at the premiums. I can start calculating how much am I going to make from all these trades, and then I start to make my trades.